Ladies and gentlemen, I am Seven. You're watching ECLECTICKA. We have Charles and we also have Drew. How you guys doing?
Great. Hyped. We got a good one for you guys today.
Oh, yes.
Let's start off with tonight's big thing is The Preacher, right?
Yes. AMC is premiering the first episode of Preacher, which is, in my opinion, one of the most anticipated comic adaptations of a television series yet. I'll just put it just period. I'm hyped because I've been looking for a show that's based on a comic that can kind of fill that void where other shows that have completely let me down and who I've since broken up with can just kind of be shifted aside. I need something to fill that void, and I think that Preacher is going to be just that. I'm so hyped. Watch it tonight and watch it after this show, and I will give you guys a full-on review of that afterwards. Let's get it.
Well, question, what is it about? Well, first of all, what void was created? Maybe we should start there.
All right, so to explain, the void was, those who haven't seen the previous shows, Walking Dead. I've completely just grown apart from that series. I can't stand it anymore, so months ago I said I'm done, and I just kind of left it aside. Preacher, for those who don't know, is a comic book that was written by Garth Ennis. It ran from 1995 to 2000, around that time. It tells the story of Jesse Custer, who is a Texas preacher, a disillusioned Texas preacher, who finds himself imbued with a being known as Genesis. Now, Genesis is the end result of a demon mating with an angel. And because of that, he has both powers. And this being Genesis is like, how can I explain it? He has the ability to impel you to do whatever he wants simply with what's called the word. So if Jesse commands you to do it, you do it. So, and the reason that Genesis merges with Jesse's body is because while it has the powers that are both demonic and angelic, it doesn't have a consciousness. So it merges with Jesse to kind of fill that void. So hence my expression, filling the void for, The Walking Dead, which has let me down. So that's basic rundown. And also he has Jesse, he's joined by Cassidy, who is an Irish vampire, and his gun-toting ex-current, whatever you have it, girlfriend named Tulip. And she teeters from being really cool to really problematic. So I think it's going to be a great show. The reviews I've heard already are on point. If people are telling me that if this whole series is anything like the pilot, we should all have a good time.
There we
So
go.
I already know I'm going to love it.
I got to start watching this from the beginning. The Preacher.
Check it out, man. Check it out. Because I'm going to be talking all about it in upcoming shows.
They did a movie, Preacher, right? Yeah, they did a movie, Preacher.
No, they were it was in talks for upwards of 5, 6, 7 years. It bounced around from a few different hands in a few different studios. It didn't develop, and then ultimately AMC scooped it up, and I think that's for the best.
Okay.
Because a show like this that has so much lore and goes so deep into some of these archetypal beings that you see in religion, it couldn't be done in a 2-hour movie, let alone a 3-hour movie, let alone an hour and a half. So okay. I think a television show would be the best medium for that. So, yep.
Well, I'm excited. You got me amped. And
I'll check that out.
By the way, Fear the Walking Dead. I just saw some of their newer episodes. Yeah, it was painful. Now it's not as painful, but it's still a little. Yeah. Drew, you okay?
I'm sorry. I just fell asleep right now for a minute.
Oh man. No, it's not as bad. It is getting better, but it's getting better so slow that it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah, I'm watching paint dry. Same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's why I checked out in the first season. Apparently it's gotten better since then, but by the end of season 1, I'm just like...
Yeah. I'm disconnected already.
I'm done, yeah. I'm done, so...
Well, let's talk about some happy news. Let's talk about some Thor.
Thor, right. So, news came out this past week. Cast news. Thor 3, or Thor Ragnarok for those who are in the know, they added several new cast members to the show. Jeff Goldblum who you all know from Jurassic Park. He's going to be playing the role of, I forgot what the character's name is already. He's a known character in the Marvel Universe, but it's kind of curious that he's going to be in this movie. Jeff Goldblum's going to be in it. Kate Blanchett is going to be playing Hela, who everybody who's read a Thor comic knows to some degree or another. An interesting cast decision that they made was Tessa Thompson, who she was in the movie Selma. She was in Dear White People. Awesome actress, extremely cute. She's going to be playing the character of Valkyrie, which in Norse mythology, you know that the Valkyrie are basically like the Norse warriors. They're like the all-female battalion in Norse mythology, and they're like these big, beautiful blonde, warrior chicks. Tessa Thompson's going to be playing Valkyrie.
It's just the way you say it.
Yeah, like in the film, Valkyrie is like, she's not the female counterpart to Thor, but she was basically created as such. She's like a known character. And again, she's like this 6 foot tall, like super built, hot blonde chick, this white chick. And now you got Tessa Thompson that's playing her. And I'm just like, guys, this is just, I guess, the era that we live in now. We all got pissed when we heard that Scarlett Johansson was going to be playing Makoto Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell. And I can already hear the fanboys click-clacking away on their friggin' keyboards. This isn't freaking white. She's not freaking white. I'm like, but you guys are completely fine with Scarlett Johansson playing an otherwise Japanese character who they didn't even bother to change the name of, mind you.
Yeah.
So that's just the nature of the beast, man.
That's just Hollywood for you, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone that route personally. If they were going to add Valkyrie to the mix, I would have probably kept it a little closer to the comics. But for the choices that they've made thus far with their casting, and the three of us were talking about this before the show, Marvel has a concise plan. And this list of characters that they've shown us thus far for Black Panther, for Thor, they've been pretty solid. I haven't had a single moment where I was just completely yuck. There's been controversial choices. There's been divisive choices, i.e. with Tilda Swinton playing the role of the Ancient One. But I think that's just, it falls right into that whole mold of what plan they have for their films. And I think it's a pretty solid plan thus far.
Yeah, I mean, these don't really disappoint. I mean, look at Civil War, man. So, I mean, their formula seems to work, even though, like you said, we do have some discrepancies with character choices, cast choices, but it seems to pull together in the end.
Right.
And the buzz on the internet this week is so many people were like, oh, I wish the Hulk was in it. I wish Thor was in that. Where are they? Well, they're building up their hype. They're so smart.
You don't have to do that, man.
You see what I'm saying? Brilliant.
You know what it's like? And I got this off my uncle, man. He's a phenomenal guitar player. And he would say, you get these guitar players that come on stage and they just rip it for the first 3 minutes. And then after that, for the next, whatever, for the rest of the show, they have nothing to show. You know what I mean?
They blow their wad.
Don't blow all your cookies in the first act, man.
And they answered it really just bluntly, and it made perfect sense in Civil War. It's like, has anybody, when Tony Stark is talking to Scarlett Johansson's character, has anybody seen Banner? It's like, do you really think that Banner would be on their side? There are one really good reason as to why Thor and Hulk weren't in Civil War. Whatever side Thor or Hulk would have been on would have been the winning side. Yeah. You have a thunder god, and you have the single most powerful berserker in the Marvel universe. I'm on this person's side, therefore that person won. It's that simple.
Right. And then also with their characters, they're more, is this going to affect the world? Am I going to save the world? Really? You guys are going to fight? You figure that out.
Thor,
personality-wise, right?
Yeah. Thor, he's like, dude, it's between my friends, and that was his issue in the comic. It's like he was really torn because there were people Thor considered to be his close allies. And Thor, one of the parts I love most about him is that he's very much about just honesty and loyalty. Those are his two biggest things. If you screw that over, that's your ass. But if you have his back, he will have your back.
Your back.
To the bone.
You ganked up Tony Stark already. Remember you doing that stuff with the Tesseract? and he yanked him up in the lab. So he was,
Yes, he wouldn't have sided with Tony Stark. He wouldn't have been on his side at all. And then you add Bruce Banner, the fact where Black Widow is just like, do you really think that Hulk would be on our side in this war? So Thor and Hulk teamed up with Captain America. That's just a straight up hard L, dude. That's an L, Stark. So it wouldn't have worked in the movie. It wouldn't have worked.
And I'm glad they were smart enough to stay out of that, like to leave those characters out there.
Well, and cheer up, fans, because we're gonna see Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, which is gonna be visually alone something epic. Thor and Hulk together in a movie. This answers like so many questions when it comes to the cinematic universe, but it's also pleasing just to think that you're gonna have Thor running around in Asgard, doing his thing next to Thor. It's like the ultimate freaking team-up movie, in my opinion, for Marvel thus far.
Right. And there's no plans to do a separate Hulk movie anymore, right? That's it, right?
Not yet, but I feel that that's okay because he's a character that you can share around with different people. Wherever he is, there's going to be destruction. Therefore, having him do his own thing just kind of seems like a waste. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, does that make sense?
Oh, definitely, because then they would go. Sorry, DC. I don't throw you underneath the bus, but we're tired of the Bruce story. That's why I like Gotham, and I haven't given it up yet because it's the first time you actually see the development of the Penguin, like the development of how did Bruce Wayne become Batman. It's always like, oh, there's Batman, but okay, we got to go into this Bruce Wayne stuff, and that's not how it works. You have to have life experiences and develop and grow. Plus, this is the first time you actually got a good feeling of Commissioner Gordon. How did they develop that relationship?
Bruce Wayne and Jim Gordon in the first season that I saw of Gotham were two of the most interesting parts of it. The other characters, they hadn't quite found their footing. Mm-hmm. Penguin, they had an idea on what they wanted to happen to him. Mm-hmm. And then you just had these other characters that were just kind of floating around doing their own thing.
Penguin's getting interesting. It's getting interesting now. But anyway, I said all that to say that I don't want to hear how Hulk became Hulk again.
For the 19th time.
Yeah. So just like you said, just have him a part of everybody's movie. There's certain characters.
Who he is, just share him, dude. That's what I would have done if you'd had in the Black Panther movie. Mm-hmm. I really hope that Marvel and Fox can work out a deal to where they can exchange certain characters.
Interesting.
Because I think that a really good beat that you could have in a future Black Panther movie is him meeting up with Aurora Monroe, who we all know is Storm in the X-Men, because their whole thing is just a trip. So if you could have those characters, maybe Namor, characters that you could shift around to different movies, and wherever they are, they'll have an impact.
Wow. I would love to see Namor in a movie, man. I would love to see him.
Yeah, he's a great unsung X Factor.
They sleep on that character, man.
They really do.
On Namor.
I still want my Namor, dude. He doesn't have to have like his own origin movie.
Heck no, have come in there, man. Just
just a force of nature that can he has an entire Atlantean army at his disposal, and it's like, dude, I can make tidal waves. I own 70% of Earth. Do you get that? I own all that blue crap. The oceans, those are mine. Okay, I have this.
Dude, that'd be great. They don't know. They don't know what they have, man.
Now, Drew, you sent me an interesting picture. You said that Michael Keaton is going to be doing some stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Michael Keaton was initially up for a role in Spiderman Homecoming. He was in talks with Marvel. Initially, they told us that talks fell through and that he wasn't going to be doing it.
Oh, man.
But now they're saying that he's back in with them, and they're finalizing a deal to play the villain. And I think I told you guys this. Catch me if I'm telling a lie. But I think the last time we spoke about this, I said that if Michael Keaton got picked as a character, he would either be the Green Goblin, again, which we don't want to freaking deal with, or the Vulture, which is what I think they're going to go with him. And I think that's
perfect. Him playing a Vulture. I hope they have someone else in there, though, man. I don't know if the Vulture can carry. Can a Vulture carry a whole...
He can. Dude, they tried to make... Yeah. They've tried to double up so many times on Spider-Man movies. I'm like, dude, just go with one. Doesn't have to be a top tier, because Green Goblin is like that one where it's either done really poorly or really well, and both times it's just kind of been...
I love that character, the Green Goblin, and I want them to do it right for once.
It needs to be done right.
It needs to
Hold
be
off on
done.
him. Yeah, hold off on him. If you're gonna do him right, don't introduce him until like the third Spider-Man of this third reboot. Make him the third movie, and then
And please, no more reboots. Please, no more. After this, I can't.
You guys verbally
It's done. You can't do with it anymore.
You guys might verbally punch me in the face for this one. You know what I think would make a very interesting character? Because they're starting from the beginning, so you're not going to bring in like a Venom or someone like that, or even a Sandman, one of his tougher characters, Mysterio. I think Mysterio would make a very interesting character on screen.
If done well, and you really have to go into the specifics of his power set, because this whole thing is illusions.
Yeah.
So while you could make him a main antagonist, you're really going to have to soup up his power set, because I'm faking you out with the lights and magic and stuff. That'll get old, I think, by like the second act. What's his big thing at the end of the day?
Right.
He could work though. He could totally work
in the beginning. Like I said, I don't think it would work for a season. Like I said, Spider-Man, because his powers and stuff would develop more. But him being fresh, that'd be something good for him to kind of start off with.
To kind of like cut his teeth on. Yeah, he'd be good. Vulture, I think, for Homecoming will work. If they really find themselves in a place where they need to sell more toys and thus add more villains, you can go with.
They're not going to try to throw the Sinister Six in there. I hope not.
I bet you anything they are. Mark my words. They're going to go with the Sinister Six because it's too fun of an idea. It's like the pinnacle. No franchise has been able to work up to it yet, even though they tried with Andrew Garfield's run. Yeah. No iteration of Spider-Man's been able to pull that off, but that's like the goal that they want to get to. That and then Venom, and then no one's even trying to think about Carnage right now because they haven't been able to get that many movies out of Spider-Man. Right. So they'll try. Watch, you'll see. You will see. They're gonna go with the Sinister Six eventually. So did you have a rant for us today,
I
Charles?
do.
Go. Get it in.
You know me and my video game rants. I'm all for the gamers. Seriously. I'm an old school gamer, okay? I always tell people my first video game system was the Magnavox Odyssey, and that was in 1978. So I know my stuff about gaming. Now, we talked about last week this whole thing coming out, Infinity War coming out with Infinite, the new Black Ops and all this type of stuff, Modern Warfare coming out. And what they want to do now is, it was actually, Infinite War was one of the most hated videos on YouTube after the gaming community saw it. They don't want the whole jumping around jetpack, Halo clone. We want boots on the ground. Go back to the old. So what they want to do now is they want to take and reintroduce a remastered version of COD4, the one that kicked it all off. Now, listen, though, to get the game, you got to pay $80. You got to buy the other one too. Okay, so that's an issue for me. Like I said, that's just wrong. Now, we're going to do a quick history lesson here.
Nice.
Black Ops 3, right? Black Ops 3 made $550 million in 3 days. 3 days when it was released, okay? I got my notes here for this. Now, if anyone plays Black Ops, anyone that's listening, they have this whole thing. It's called the black market. And to me, the black market is basically set up to screw gamers over. It really is. To me, it's nothing but honestly, it's like a gambling ring. You go in, you earn these cryo points for the matches that you play online, and then you get these points, and you can go in and you can spend these points on different items in the black market, right? Okay, so you go in there and you spend these points, and what it is, you can get different camos, different weapons, and different gestures, like at the end when you win a match, you can dance around and do all kinds. To me, that stuff is stupid. You really don't need that in there, but I guess some people like those things. But the main thing is what people want. They want the weapons, right? Okay, so now, this is where it gets kind of tricky. One spin. Now the thing is, you can win these points. You win like 2 to 3 points per match, or you can buy COD points. Now this is where it gets kind of sketchy. All right. To get 200 points, it's $1.99. So it's like $2 per spin. No, seriously, listen, listen to what I'm saying. $2 per spin, right? Then you can go as high as spending what is this thing? To get 13,000 points, you're going to spend, I think it's $99. That's $100. That's $100.
So wait, you're this is not part of the game. You're literally paying this money to do this?
You're paying this money out of your pocket.
Actual cash money, yeah.
So, you know, people, the gamers, they want the best weapons and all that stuff, and they will spend this money. So now you get now there's the other part coming. You have these big YouTube channels that are sponsored by Activision, and Activision gives them points. Now the thing is, I know once you buy these points, you cannot share the points. They're yours. You understand? So these big YouTubers, they're making money. They get the views, and they'll say, well, you know what? I'm going to do a rare supply drop video. Basically, you can watch them spend their points and get the different weapons and things. And then they'll have it to where you can win points. So I'm saying, first of all, you're not buying the points. That company's giving you the points. And these kids see these videos, and then they want the best stuff. So they spend the money. They spend the money. Before, you could buy we used to fuss about getting a season pass. You get the season pass, you would get the maps and everything would come with it. But now they want you spending this money. Dude, you have guys spending $300-$400 on these supply drops, and you're not even getting the weapons, man.
That's basically like the cost of a system, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying.
I could get my PS4 with that.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to say. How much more money do they need to suck out of people for these games? Dude, that should be illegal, man.
And you know what? My thing is this. Because I was talking to our mutual friend Black Crystal last night, and we got into this big conversation about, she basically gave me her iteration of what Charles just went off about when it came to the history of Call of Duty and Black Ops and all these different iterations of it.
Right.
And I posed her with the issue of, all right, but at the end of the day, as fans and as like loyal, lifelong fans, what are you guys going to do about it? So I ask you this, Charles. Cutting through all the facts, figures, and statistics, are you going to buy the next game?
No, I'm not. I'm done.
You're not? Okay.
I'm done. I'm done. It's like you get to a point. What I did, I actually went back and I started playing the original Black Ops 1. I had the game. They re-uploaded it to, to the site. Went on last night, man. There were 30,000 people playing the game. And I think the night before, there was like 49,000 people. It's pretty sad when you have a game that's, almost 10 years old, where you have more people playing the original Black Ops than you do playing Call of Duty Ghosts right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think I'm done. I'm done.
You know what you guys need to do, man? It's time to literally ish or get off the pot. If the fans are irate and they're pissed and there's so many dislikes for this next game, the only way to sit up there and infract any change is going to buy the game. It's that simple, guys. It's literally that simple. And I know that there are those diehard fanboys out there. Crystal said this herself. She's like, I'm still probably going to play it, but it won't be until there's like a price cut on it. But I'm like, but you're still going to buy the game.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't solve the problem. Yeah, and I'm not a Call of Duty guy. So I'm just like, guys, I can be real cold and distant and objective with them. I'm just like, don't support the franchise.
Right.
And someone looking at me, and saying, Drew, the next Tekken game was straight ass, I'd be like, but it's Tekken. I've been playing Tekken since I was like 9 or 10 years old. I can't let it go. So that Call of Duty, folks, I feel you guys' pain, kind of, but it's that time, guys. It's up to you. The ball's in your court. Charles, you drew your line in the sand. You're done. You're
done.
out of
it. I think just ending on saying, my thing is, you buy the game, you buy the season pass, you should not have to pay any more money for anything. You know what I mean? They're making people pay for recycled maps, reskinned maps, and things like. You shouldn't have to pay for that stuff. And that, like I said, this will be the last thing. That whole black market thing, that should be illegal, man. Like I said, your chances of getting anything good when you got to drop $100 to get points and things like that, man. That's not fair. It's not fair to the gamer. And so I'll end with that. So Activision, that's it, man. You aren't getting any more of my money.
He's out, dude.
Man.
No part of it. Oh, man. I meant to bring this up earlier, but we got another little bit of casting news back over at Marvel. Carrie-Anne Moss, she played the character in Jessica Jones, whose name totally escapes me right now. Oh, my gosh. But she was Jessica's kind of sort of lawyer She's going to be showing up in Iron Fist, Marvel's Iron Fist.
You talking my girl Trinity?
She was Trinity, and for some reason her character's name in the show in the comic completely freaking escapes right now. Did you see Jessica Jones? I
love Trinity.
Yeah.
I think Trinity is one of the baddest characters ever. I love Trinity.
So she was the lawyer character who you come to find out that there was the fetus that the Purple Man had with that girl, and she tried to analyze it and see if there was anything with it. Right. She's going to come back in Iron Fist, which adds an interesting element to the show, I think. Because if you notice, she was one of the most interesting characters in Jessica Jones just because she was a very dark, dingy shade of gray when it came to her moral compass in the show. She did some low down stuff. Her wife ended up getting murked because of the crap that she got into. She was doing some low-key backdoor stuff that was not cool. So her being involved with Iron Fist, who is, from what I know, a pretty morally centered and good character, how those two are going to clash. That's just going to be a fun, verbal joust to see over the course of that season. And all this, it just all connects so cleanly because Carrie-Anne Moss's character in the comics is connected to Iron Fist, and he in the comics, it's a guy, it's a gender bend. But in turn, he's been there for both Rand, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. So you could very easily see Carrie-Anne Moss's character kind of in turn flip over to Luke Cage. I'm just hoping all this boils down to a Heroes for Hire show where you have Iron Fist and Luke Cage and they're superheroes, but they charge you accordingly for it. I love that concept. It was tailored for television. And what with Netflix is what they're doing right now, they could turn that into such a beast.
Yeah,
such a beast show.
Netflix is on a freaking roll, man.
Yeah, man. They know what they're doing. And in turn, they also have the character Colleen Wing, who will be in Iron Fist as well. And they in turn also introduced Misty Knight. She'll also show up in Luke Cage. Those two form up their own group. And that's the B team for the Defenders. Mm-hmm. I can see it coming together. From a fan standpoint and a writing standpoint, I can see what their plan is, and I'm really excited to see how that pans out. Right. So we got some good stuff in the works, guys.
Wow. The wow factor. Heck yeah, man.
So what do we got to look forward to the next week? Any movies coming out that we should be checking out?
X-Men Apocalypse. Reviews have been meh, but I'm going to see for myself. I don't know. I really don't know. But Preacher's coming out tonight.
It better be good because, they gave Storm that mohawk, and I'm like, it better be worth it.
Oh, wait. The mohawk is just a gorgeous thing to have in any
True. Let's just hold on. The woman with the mohawk is just banging. Let's just be okay.
Alexander thing, please put that out there.
Okay, so let's just be 100% on it. But besides that,
the problem I have with X-Men, man, and this is just me, Apocalypse looks like garbage.
It
looks like a amped up Power Rangers, like one of the Power.
Looks like Ivan Ooze. Yeah, we've heard the joke. I'll give him a shot. Oscar Isaac is a good actor. I think they'll pull it off. Alexander Shipp, that's Bay right there, and we'll see, man. We shall see. I'm just glad that it's not Halle Berry again. I'll put it that way. I'll just voice.
They never gave Storm her justice, man. I'm sorry.
They really haven't.
Never gave her justice. It was like they had her on screen and she really didn't do a darn thing.
Did nothing. That's why I want her in Black Panther, because you can actually add some good writing and have her be her own thing and have her be the Storm goddess that everyone thought that she was.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, guys. We'll see.
All right. Well, on that note, you're watching Eclectica. I'm Seven. We have Charles. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
And Drew. And I guess we'll just be talking about the Preacher next week, huh?
Preacher, X-Men, the whole lot. We got it for you guys.
So the X-Men is coming out Thursday night or Friday night?
Thursday for us, yeah. Friday, it's the official day. But we'll be there. We got you.
All right. You heard it here, folks. Thank you so much. Have a good night. And check us out next week. Say what?
No to Call of Duty.
No to COD, yes to Preacher. Let's get it in. I'm watching right now.
Man. Oh, run it.
A ton of nice, but we're not gonna have enough time.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, then.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching.